Krishna, everybody. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. So, thank you so much for joining this evening session. Now, we will start with the recitation of invocation mantra. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamhayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruhu Shri Yutpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, everybody. So today we are going to have another interesting session on Srimad Bhagavatam. We will take a few verses from the chapter 8, Canto 1, entitled Prayers by Queen Kunti and Parikshit Saved. So in the background, in the previous sessions, we discussed that Arjuna promises Draupadi that he would bring the head of Ashwatthama, and he starts chasing Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama sees no means to save his life, and in order to save his life, he releases Brahmastra, and Arjuna is in a stage of confusion. He doesn't know what is the source of this fire, from where it has come, what he should do. So he remembers Krishna, and Krishna immediately tells him that this is the act of Ashwatthama, and in order to save his life, he has released Brahmastra. And Arjuna wonders what he should do. So Krishna says that you are the knower of all the astras. Astragya means you know the art of military weapons. So you should release the Brahmastra to counteract the Brahmastra which was released by Ashwatthama, and then retract both the Brahmastra. And Arjuna does so, and after that Arjuna binds Ashwatthama like we bind an animal with the rope. And he starts dragging Ashwatthama. He starts dragging Ashwatthama to the military camp. And when Krishna sees it, Krishna gets very angry. He says, "Why don't you kill Ashwatthama?" But Arjuna does not respond, and he keeps dragging Ashwatthama to the camp. And Krishna is instigating him that don't show the mercy on this person. He has killed your 5 innocent sleeping sons. He is an Atatai. Krishna tells Arjuna that one who maintains his life at the cost of others' life should be killed in this life itself so that he doesn't get severe punishment in the next birth. And Krishna reminds Arjuna that you have promised Draupadi that you would bring the head of Ashwatthama to her. So, what will happen to your promise? But Arjuna remains undisturbed by the words of Krishna. And Bhagavatam say at this point of time, Arjuna was being tested by Krishna. And Arjuna brings Ashwatthama in front of Draupadi. And the Bhagavatam says that Draupadi acted in a very wonderful manner, which is very exemplary. The person who has killed the five innocent sleeping sons of a lady, she sees the killer, and the very first thing she does, she offers very respectful obeisances to Ashwatthama, the person who had killed her five sleeping sons. And then, second, she couldn't tolerate that Ashwatthama was bound with the ropes. So immediately she says, Muchyate, muchyate, means release him, release him. And then she gives the reasons why Ashwatthama should be released. Draupadi says that Ashwatthama is the son of a Brahmana, and Brahmanas are considered the gurus of the society. So it is not appropriate to kill the gurus of the society. Draupadi reminds Arjuna that we are very much indebted to Dronacharya because he has taught us the, the art of military weapons. Draupadi says that Kripi, the wife of Dronacharya, would really become widow if she loses her son. And Draupadi says that I do not want Ashwatthama's mother to suffer like I am suffering without my children. And Draupadi says that uh, Ashwatthama belongs to a royal family, and as a Kshatriya, we 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 should respect the dignity of a royal family. And everyone supported Draupadi's statement except two personalities. The first, it was Krishna, and second, it was Bhima. And Arjuna was again in a very perplexing situation because one side was supporting the statement of Draupadi, and Draupadi was saying that release him, release him. And other side, particularly Krishna and Bhima, were telling that you kill Ashwatthama. Now Krishna looks at Ashwatthama, and Krishna instructs Arjuna that he should act in such a manner which satisfies everyone. That means Arjuna should act in a manner by which Ashwatthama is killed as well as not killed. So Arjuna, he severs off the jewel and hears from the head of Ashwatthama and release Ashwatthama. And Bhagavatam says, by this act, Arjuna followed the principles of religion because according to the scriptures, a Brahmana can be punished in one of the three ways, and which are like cutting off the hair, depriving the Brahmana from his wealth, and second, driving out the Brahmana from one's house. So these are one of the three ways in which a Brahmana can be punished. But there is no injunction in the Shastra of killing the physical body of a Brahmana. So in this episode, we saw that what is the nature of Krishna's devotee. One thing we clearly see that Krishna's devotees are very merciful. They are full of compassion. And that's why in the Bhagavatam, in the verse, one of the verses, Arjuna has been addressed as a Mahan, means he was a great personality. Prabhupada has addressed Arjuna as a Sri Arjuna. Prabhupada has addressed Draupadi as a Srimati Draupadi because of her shield, because of her compassion. So this is what we discussed in the previous few sessions. Now, as I mentioned, today we are going to start another chapter from the Canto 1 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, in the chapter 8 of Canto 1 of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that Pandavas they perform final rites of their dead relatives. They offered them the Ganges water and they took the dip in the Ganges water. And now they are all sitting together, including Yudhishthir, Arjun, Bhima, Nakul, Sahadev, and also Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. And they are all lamenting over the death of their relatives. And Krishna is also there. So Krishna, along with other saints and sages, they all try to comfort the Kauravas and Pandavas. So Krishna speaks in order to give comfort to Kauravas and Pandavas by saying that this is the truth of the life. And what is the truth of the life? Krishna says that Bhuteshu kalasya gatim darshayana pratikriyam. दर्शन मतलब इट डेमोस्ट्रेट इट शोज कि जो भी कुछ हुआ उससे हमको क्या मालूम पड़ता है कि भूतेषु कालस्य गतिम दैट एवरीवन इज अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ टाइम दैट्स द फर्स्ट थिंग भूतेषु कालस्य गतिम दैट एवरीवन इज अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ टाइम एंड न प्रतिक्रिया and there is no material solution to counter the effects of kala. Now, what are the effects of the kala? The effects of the kala or the time factor is the changes in the body, the changes in various products in the material world. Whatever we see in this material world, everything is subject to change due to the influence of kala, due to the influence of a time factor. With the passage of time, everything is changing and will keep changing. And it keeps changing until a point when it becomes invalid. In the Bhagavatam third canto, it is very nicely said, Kalam Kalena Jarasam. It is 323. It is said that with the effect of Kala, Jarasam means invalid. Due to the effect of Kala, everything in this world becomes invalid. Like we have so many documents, we have the passport, for example. So once it reaches the expiry date, it becomes invalid. So similarly, in our case also, due to the effect of Kala, we are subject to the changes in our body. We are subject to the old age. We are subject to the disease. And with all these changes, at some point of time, we become completely invalid. Invalid means people they think that we are of no use. We have the experience of seeing many elderly people, and when we see their condition, many times is very pathetic condition, and the way they are treated, because this is the nature of the material world. That people they think that then an old person is invalid and it's of no use. And similarly, we have got how we should say that everything is material world is going to be invalid due to the effect of time. And at some point of time, it gets destroyed. It is subject to a destruction. When Krishna showed his universal form to Arjuna, Arjuna got full of fear. अर्जुन बहुत ज्यादा डर गए. And he asked Krishna, who are you? आप कौन हो? And the very first thing Krishna says that Kalosmi, कि I am the Kala, I am the time factor. And what do I do? मैं क्या करता हूँ? लोकक्षय कृत प्रवृद्धो. What is my nature? Lokashaya. Loka means the world. Shaya means destroy. Pravadro means great. And Krita means to do. That I am the time factor and I am the destroyer of all the worlds. And Krishna says, Lokan samahartum ihe pravritta. That I have come here to destroy everyone in this world. And Krishna says, Ritepi tvam na bhavishanti sarve ye vastita prati anekeshu yodha. Krishna tells Arjuna that no one except you will escape from death in this war. Arjuna did not want to fight. Why? Because he thought if he does not fight, the people who are standing in front of him will not die. But in this verse, Kalosmi Lokashaya Krita Pravriddho, Krishna is telling Arjuna that even if you do not fight, these people have been already killed by the factor of time. And why they've been killed? Prabhupada says it is Krishna's plan. Prabhupada says in the purport to the Bhagavad Gita verse 11.32, Prabhupada says death cannot be checked. Even if he did not fight, he means Arjuna did not fight. They were already dead. Time is destruction. And all manifestations are to be vanquished by the desire of Supreme Lord. That is the law of nature. And in the purport, this particular verse, 1.8.4, Prabhupada mentions that Lord makes law and orders, which are called Dharma. And whatever laws and orders have been made by the Lord, those cannot be altered by anyone. Everyone is bound to follow them. And Prabhupada says, if we follow the laws and order of Krishna, then we can live happily, materially as well as spiritually. But what happens, unfortunately, that we accept the spotlight of few years. Prabhupada says spotlight of few years. Spotlight means just a flash of moment. That this life is very momentary when we compare with the life of Brahmaji, whose life is 311 trillion years. He passes his life as if those are just few years of life. And our life is totally insignificant as compared to the Brahma's life. But still we think those years as a permanent life, and we remain busy in enjoying the material energy of Krishna. And material energy of Krishna means everything we see in this material world, except the spiritual things. And Bhagavatam says that evam graheshu saktanam pramattanam tadihaya atyakramad avigyata kala param dustara. Bhagavatam says, Evam Graheshu Saktanam. Evam means in this manner. Graheshu means the householder people. And Pramattanam Tadiha. Pramattanam, Prabhupada translates very beautifully. Prabhupada says, insanely attached. Insane means like a mad people. We are attached to the material energy around us. And we are always absorbed in the thoughts of material energy. And to clarify material energy, it means the family, relatives, relations, designations, our possessions, all those things comes in the material energy. So the situation of householders is that they are insanely attached to the family affairs and they are always absorbed in their thoughts. And what happens? That Atyakramad avigyata. Avigyata means imperceptibly, which means unknowingly. The time factor catches the living entities. And once the time factor catches, then nobody can overcome the time factor. Nobody can overcome the force of the time factor. It says Kala Param Dustara. Kala Param Dustara, that Kala means time and Param Dustara. Param means supreme and Dustara means insurmountable. That the power of the time is so powerful that nobody can stop its flow. We are already caught in the clutches of time. And at any point of time, the time factor, which is Krishna's energy, and Krishna himself, is going to swallow us. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that if we want to escape from the clutches of Kala, right, then what we should do? We should engage ourselves in the sadhu sangha. We should associate with the devotees and hear about Krishna and his devotees' glories. And with that, we would be able to overcome the effects of Kala. Here, one of the effect of Kala was the lamentation over the death of the, the friends and relatives. The Kauravas and Pandavas, they were lamenting due to the death of their relatives and friends and so many other people. And Krishna spoke to them these words of wisdom. And with those words of wisdom, and they got some relief. So here, Krishna is giving the comfort to Kauravas and Pandavas by telling them that everyone is under the control of time factor and no one has the power to counteract the effects of Kala. Now, the people around Krishna, they asked Krishna that Krishna, why did it happen? Why millions of people got killed? Why did this war happen? So Krishna gives the background and the cause of destruction in the verse number 1.8.5. Krishna says it was because of Duryodhan and his allies that they, due to their uncontrollable greed or uncontrolled greed and cunningness, they took the kingdom of Yudhishthira in an unjustful manner. And Yudhishthira was such a great personality that he was Ajas Shatru. He did not have any enemy. So it was a great injustice to him. But the Lord cannot tolerate injustice to anyone. So it was Lord's desire that the war was arranged and which led to the destruction of all these sinful people. So the cause of this destruction was the action in violation of dharma. कि उन्होंने धर्म कौरवों ने धर्म के विरुद्ध कर्म किए. धर्म के विरुद्ध कर्म क्या किया उन्होंने? फॉर एग्जाम्पल दे चीटेड पांडवास. They dishonored Draupadi. And then the justice comes in the picture. That justice was given by Krishna, who ensured that Dharma should prevail even if there is a war. So many times people ask, why do bad things happen? So here Krishna is answering there are two things. One is a spiritual reason, which means that everything happens under the control of the Kala, which is the divine energy of Krishna. And it's not in our hand to reverse the effects of Kala. And morally, if there is an injustice, like what Duryodhana did, will bring a destruction, and the destruction not by human revenge. We should not think that Pandavas revenged against Kauravas. Rather, it was arrangement of the Lord to give justice to Pandavas. And Prabhupada mentions very nicely in his purport that there are five categories of living entities who should always be protected. And those five categories are Brahmanas, cows, women, children, and old men. So these five categories of living entities should always be protected. And when we say protection, protection does not mean physical safety. Rather, it also means emotional protection, social protection, and spiritual support. Protection also means the care, protection means respect, protection means support, so that the people in these categories can live safely, peacefully, and fulfill the purpose of their life. When we talk about protection to Brahmana, it means supporting Brahmanas so that they can live a peaceful life where they can study the scriptures, where they can preach the society, and they can worship the Lord without any disturbance. Imagine if personalities like Vyasdeva is not protected, how the society will get the invaluable knowledge what we got from Vyasdeva. The protection of cows, it means ensuring that the cows are not harmed physically and cared for with love, because they give the milk which nourishes our brain and body. Protection for women, it means providing safety to the woman, it means respecting the woman, it means giving a culture where they can where they can flourish with their dignity. Same way, when we talk about protection to the children, it means giving them good education, giving them moral values, loving them from the very beginning, so that they get a chance to grow spiritually. Like we see with the example of Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Protecting old men, it means allowing them to live a peaceful and respectful retired life, so that they can, so that they can focus on preparing for their next life. As, as we see with the example of Parikshit Maharaj, that in the last 7 days, he, he, he focused on simply hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and that time nobody from his kingdom disturbed him. And in in this particular verse and Srila Prabhupada purport, one very important thing has been mentioned in the verse 1.8.5, the last line. It says, Kacha sparsha shata ayusha. Kacha means hair, sparsh means touch, shata means decreased, and ayusha means life. This means that the lives of Kauravas were decreased as soon as or immediately upon touching the hairs of Draupadi. राधा गोविंद महाराज जी बोलते हैं कि जिस समय द्रौपदी के केशों को स्पर्श किया दुर्योधन दुशासन ने, उसी समय पूरे कौरव वंश का विनाश निश्चित हो गया था. So what Krishna wants to say that it is very important that we protect the women in our society. And Prabhupada gives a very nice purport to this verse. We don't have the time to read the entire purport, but I would like to read the few sentences as it is, what Prabhupada has given in this purport. And this is verse number 1.8.5. So the killing of above mentioned innocent creatures is totally forbidden. Above mentioned innocent creatures. Who are they? The five categories. What I mentioned to you. Brahmanas, cows, women, children, and old men. Is totally forbidden because even by insulting them, one loses one's duration of life. तो जो पांच कैटेगरी के लोग हैं, इनकी हत्या करने की बात छोड़िए. Even if we insult them, even if we insult a Brahmana, we insult a cow, we insult a woman, we insult a children, right? We insult old men, we loses our duration of life. Now the next sentence, in the age of Kali, they are not properly protected, and therefore the duration of life of the present generation has shortened considerably. So in this sentence, Prabhupada is giving the reason that why the people in Kali Yuga do not have the long life. Why do they have the short life? Prabhupada has shortened considerably. Means people in the Kali Yuga don't live very long. Why? Because one way or other way, we are not properly protecting. Prabhupada said not properly protected. Means we are not properly protecting these five categories of creatures in the society. And then Prabhupada says in the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that when the women become unchaste for want of protection, there are unwanted children called Shankara. And finally, this is a very beautiful sentence. Prabhupada says, to insult a chaste woman means to bring about disaster in the duration of life. Dushashana, a brother of Duryodhana, insulted Draupadi, an ideal chaste lady, and therefore the miscreants died untimely. These are some of the stringent laws of the Lord mentioned above. Right? So we should always remember this purport when it comes to protecting these five categories of people, and particularly the women class of the society. And it's not only Kauravas. We have the example of Ravana also. Ravana was a great personality. Right? Materially, he was a great personality. And the cause of destruction was simply due to one reason, that he disrespected a chaste woman, Sita Mata. Right? So, in this particular verse, Krishna gives the background or the cause of destruction of Kauravas as well as many people from the side of Pandavas also. And in the Krishna, next verse, it is mentioned that with the grace of Krishna, Yudhishthira Maharaj performed three Ashwamedha sacrifices. And the pious fame of Yudhishthira Maharaj is spread like the fame of Indra, who had performed 100 sacrifices. So, first of all, first we should remember one thing, that the 1.8.5 Krishna mentions the background or the cause of the destruction. And it says that Krishna destroyed Adharma through the medium of war. So 1.8.5 is about the destruction of Adharma. And this verse 1.8.6 is about the reconstruction of Dharma. Means after the war was over, Pandavas, they got the kingdom. Yudhishthira Maharaj became the king. But in this verse, it is shown that Yudhishthira Maharaj did not use his power for his own sense gratification. Rather, he used his power for the spiritual upliftment of his citizens and to glorify the Lord by performing three Ashwamedh Yajnas. And the verse also says that though Yudhishthira Maharaj performed only three Ashwamedh Yajna, but still his fame spread in all directions, which was equal to the fame of Indradev. Indradev got this reputation by performing 100 Ashwamedh Yajnas. But Yudhishthira Maharaj got the equal fame simply by performing three sacrifices. And Prabhupada mentions why did it happen? Because Yudhishthira Maharaj was a pure devotee. And Prabhupada says that by the grace of Krishna, Yudhishthira Maharaj came to the level of Indra. Not because of the number of sacrifices. Number of sacrifices were only three in case of Yudhishthira Maharaj. In case of Indra, it was 100. But simply with the grace of Krishna, Yudhishthira Maharaj came to the level of Indra when it comes to his name and fame. And Prabhupada says the Lord is always equal to everyone, but his devotees are more glorified because they are always in touch with Krishna, who is all great. And Prabhupada says we can become a great personality by staying in touch with the greatest personality, who is Krishna. Prabhupada gives an example of the rays of the sun. Prabhupada says the sun rays are equally distributed throughout the universe, but some places are in dark. So some places are in dark not due to the fault of a sun, rather due to the power of the recipient sun. Right? If some places they want to stay in the dark, they don't want to come out to the sun, then although the sun is present, but still those things, those places will not get the sunlight. So similarly, Krishna's mercy is for everyone. But devotees are always open to receive the Krishna's mercy. And that's why they always shine. Like the things in the material world shine when they get the rays of the sun. And the devotees, they do not shine simply because Krishna favors them. Rupa says Krishna is equal to everyone. It depends on us how much mercy we are ready to receive from Krishna. And after that, Shukadeva Goswami mentions that Krishna prepares himself to depart for Dwarka. He has He is already seated on the chariot, and suddenly he sees that Uttara was hurrying towards him in fear. And Uttara, Uttara recited a very beautiful verse. Pahi pahi mahayogin dev dev jagatpate nanyam tvad abhayam pashe yatra mrityu parasparam. Uttara says that pahi pahi mahayogin. Pahi pahi means protect, protect. Mahayogin. Maha means great, yogin means mystic. Who is the greatest mystic? It is the Krishna. Deva Deva. Deva Deva means it's again Krishna. And Jagatpate. Jagatpate means Pate means protector. And Jagat means the universe, the protector of the universe. And Nanyam Tvad Abhayam Pashe. Uttara says, I cannot see anyone. Pashe means I don't see anyone who can make me fearless. Yatra Mrityu Parasparam. And Uttara mentions one very nice thing, that Yatra Mrityu Parasparam, that what is the nature of this material world. In this material world, people, Yatra Mrityu Parasparam, people, they can kill each other, but they cannot give the life to another person. And Krishna wonders, Krishna says, okay, why you are in fear? Why you are telling me all these things? So Uttara says that that a fear, that a fiery arrow is coming towards me. It's going to burn me. But I pray, but I pray to you that let this fire burn me, but do not let it burn and abort my embryo. And Krishna could immediately understand what is this fiery arrow. Krishna could understand that this was another condemned act of Ashwatthama, who shot again Brahmastra to kill the last descendant in the Pandavas family, who was in the womb of Uttara. And Bhagavatam says that Krishna is always very merciful, particularly towards his devotee. And then Krishna could understand that Pandavas will not be able to protect Uttara at that point of time. When Uttara approached Krishna, Krishna was surrounded by the Pandavas because Krishna was about to depart for Dwarka. So when Uttara cried for help, all the Pandavas, they took up their weapons to face that fiery weapon. But Krishna knew that these Pandavas, although they are great warriors, won't be able to protect Uttara. So then, that point of time, Krishna himself took Sudarshan Chakra in order to protect Uttara. And Prabhupada gives a very beautiful purport to verse number 1.8.11. So we will read the last few lines before we conclude the session. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has clearly promised that his devotees are never to be vanquished. And he behaves according to the quality or degree of the devotion service rendered by the devotees. Here the word Ananya Vishayatmanam is significant. Yeah, now see, we should note these words. The Pandavas were 100% dependent on the protection of the Lord. So here Prabhupada mentions the quality of a devotee, that the pure devotee like Pandava is 100% dependent on the protection of the Lord, although they were all great warriors themselves. That we may have any kind of material paraphernalia, right? We are never dependent on any material paraphernalia, material energy for our protection. Rather, 100%, we are dependent on the protection of the Lord. Not even 1%, we are dependent on Krishna's energy to protect us. But the Lord neglects even the greatest warriors and also vanquishes them in no time. So Pandavas knew that although they are great warriors, but still they will be vanquished in the due course of time. And when the Lord saw that there was no time for the Pandavas to counteract the Brahmastra or Vashwathama, he took up his weapon even at the risk of breaking his own vow. You see, this is another important point. Probably we don't realize that this was the second time Krishna seemingly broke his vow that during the battle of Kurukshetra, he won't lift any weapon. So now Prabhupada says, although the battle of Kurukshetra was almost finished, still according to his vow, he should not have taken his own weapon. Now the last two lines are even more beautiful. Prabhupada says, but the emergency was more important than the vow. He is better known as the Bhakt Vatsala or the lover of his devotee, and thus he preferred to continue as Bhakt Vatsala than to be a worldly moralist who never breaks his solemn vow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
So, see, Prabhuji and Mataji, at a very high level, uh, in brief, we 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 discussed these verses, 17 verses. Thank you, Prabhuji Mataji. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Really grateful to you. Jai Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyo Patitavnebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai.